Hi everybody, welcome to Geeker Things. My name is Ed.
I'm Terrence.
And here we are to talk about Lego today. Why do you like it? Why do I like it? Why does everybody like Lego? Terrence, why do you like Lego?
Well, it's fun. Obviously here, I'm jealous, much like many people are, that you got the new UCS Millennium Falcon, and it's amazing, and it looks like a love letter to Lego fans, and just, it's awesome.
Yeah, for those that don't know much about Lego, this is the UCS collection, the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. They just released it to the VIP members on September 14th. I spent 2 hours trying to order this thing online, finally got through after 2 hours, barely got in, but it was back ordered. But it took Lego about 2 weeks to send me my back-ordered UCS Millennium Falcon. I can't wait to build it. From what I've heard, Terrence, it's going to be about probably a 30-hour build. Wow. Probably 40 hours for myself. I'm not the fastest Lego builder, but I just love them. And so that's what we're going to talk about, our love for Lego and why we love it. And so what was your first experience with Lego?
Well, my first experience was my parents bought us, I think it's called the Space Shuttle launch. It looked kind of like the Space Shuttle Discovery, you know, in the 80s, thinking about all those different space shuttles going up, and it was cool. It had the green launch pad, it had the little workers, it had the you know, the metal structure that held the space shuttle in place.
Really cool.
Yeah, and it also had, of course, the actual rocket, right, that shoots the space shuttle up, and then it breaks apart in space. It has that on there. Has a cool, opens up, has a cool arm. You can attach, if I remember correctly, astronauts to it. It was a really cool piece. Yeah. But eventually, what happened, as kids do, you know, we take it apart, we put it and build other things. So my parents ended up gluing it together, which is, you know, is a Lego, is against Lego law.
That's a faux pas.
Right.
But some people do it. Understand, if you do that, that's fine. Whatever you want to do with your Legos is fine.
Right.
Now, you had mentioned to me before, though, that you were interested in the pirate ships.
So really, when I got into Lego, like really got into it, I was into pirates, and it was so cool. The whole Blackbeard, little minifig guys, all the little sets that went to it. But eventually, I saved up my money, and I forget. I want to say it was $30-$50 at the time. Was a little pirate ship with a one mast. Mm. And it was only maybe about that big, you know, maybe a foot long, but it was so cool. Had cannons on, stuff like that. But the one I really wanted, I think it's the Black Sea or something like that. It was like a 4 or 3 mast ship. It was probably like this big. But, you know, $120 back in the early 90s was a lot for a kid. And your parents aren't just going to buy that for you, especially when you have other hobbies. But they're both amazing sets. Eventually, we came down the line with the tribal people that went along with it. You know, that they would fight the pirates and things like that. It was a cool set.
Right. I think my first experience with Lego was at 5 years old. I broke my leg, and my family bought me my first little 1970s set of Legos. Wow. And so I had the little people before they were little people. They were kind of bigger people, and trees and houses, and I enjoyed playing with Legos at friends' houses, but they weren't nowhere near the sets that they're doing today with their intellectual properties and the things they're now incorporating. Lego has really just blown up in recent years.
Right, and when you think about it, you know, I think about all those play sets as kids. I mean, more your time period, but my aunts and uncles and my parents played with Lincoln Logs, and I know those are big sets back when they were kids, and you don't really see them anymore. I mean, they're still great play sets, building the log cabins and things like that, but Lego, the endlessness of possibilities you can build are just amazing, and you see people still making them. People make them, and they get jobs with Lego.
So let me ask you this, Terrence. You know, recently the news has mentioned that Lego's laying off a lot of people
Right.
from their
Because of Lepin,
headquarters.
right? Lepin.
You're thinking of Lepin, the fake Legos?
No.
We're not talking about Lepin today.
No.
We're talking about Lego.
Yeah.
And they're actually laying off people.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? What's the problem?
Man, it's so hard to say. You look at this set right here, and really each of the Beatles, even this right here, the Celebration Detention Block Rescue, great sets. And the Millennium Falcon is just amazing. It's what people want. I think it's much like any other toy manufacturer these days. They struggle with knowing what hits people.
Or hits kids and adults.
Right,
Because
at the
a
same
lot
time.
of collectors, obviously,
Right.
are now adult collectors of
Right.
Lego. So you're now transitioning generations of individuals.
Right.
Like, we're not familiar with the new Ninjago movie and
Right.
that, that little realm of Lego. I'm sure it's popular with children.
Right.
But for us, not so much. We stick with things that we recognize, Wall-E or Big Bang Theory, Star Wars, these sorts of things.
Right.
And I think a lot of people really identify with that. But even in Star Wars,
Right.
like, for example, they had those new figures. Have you seen those?
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, a foot tall maybe, 13 inches, something like that. And they remind me a lot of the Bionicle. And Bionicle I thought were cool. My little brother loved them. A lot of kids loved them. But they're just, they're goofy.
Right.
As a collector, you don't want to buy them. Maybe a 3-year-old might want to buy them, but I think they're too
Right.
complicated as a set for a 3-year-old.
And people don't necessarily buy Lego to play action figures with
Right.
necessarily.
Right.
They make obviously play sets, but they're not really meant to be action figure
Right.
sets.
Right, and I wouldn't even say that the issue is even that they're making these one-offs of Captain Phasma and this and that. It's the quality. I think if they made them cooler and more realistic,
Very true.
look at the old UCS R2D2. I think he's yay high, again about 1.5 feet or so, but he's cool.
And you
just-
saw in the other room that I'm building BB-8
right.
now.
He's cool looking too.
That's a great little set there.
But when you make such characters as, like, I don't know, you think of, the Jedi or Stormtroopers, Captain Phasma, things like that. People want more realism from their sets to kind of show off to people. To me, I'd be embarrassed to show off to my friends. Oh, look, I got the new Captain Phasma. For me, and I'm not saying everybody doesn't like it. Each
Right.
to their own.
Each to their own.
But
Certainly our opinion is not
Right.
the opinion.
right. But for us, I feel like we feel the same way. That it's just it's missing something, and I feel like it's.
Well, I think it's missing in a lot of things because you see them sitting on the shelves, right?
Right.
I mean, they're not being sold out.
Right.
And do you think that Lego's now overextending themselves in things?
Yeah, I think it comes down to intellectual properties. Intellectual properties have been great for Lego. It's made them adjust. We were talking about by ourselves before about Nintendo, Apple. Nintendo's been around since the 1800s. They were a card trading company, and yet they adjusted and now make video games. And they continue to adjust, but they have their own thing, but they keep in their realm. They don't try to do too, every once in a while, everybody makes a mistake, but they don't try to do too much. I feel like now Lego, yeah, they got the intellectual properties, but now they're trying to squeeze that tomato or whatever like that too much. And it's
Right.
like now you're just getting junk.
Right.
I don't know what to say. Like it's not the good stuff anymore. Of course, this is amazing.
Right.
But you're not getting
Consistency.
Right. Okay, let's hold off on Captain Phasma, these little one-off figure guys, and let's make a better set. You were mentioning earlier too before Hoth, talking about UCS. Why do you think Hoth is not a great UCS?
Right. That's one of their newer UCS from last year. But the Hoth playset, UCS set, it just feels like a normal, expensive playset.
Right.
It doesn't have any unique specialness.
Right.
Whereas this is special.
Right.
This is
Absolutely.
This is definitely their primo piece. But I also have the Super Star Destroyer and some of the other UCS sets. Obviously, Slave One in the background here. So those sets really identify UCS, and they're quality items. People want those items. This thing sold out so quickly. I was fortunate to
Right.
get one, and right now they're still back ordered.
Right.
So I do think that Lego just needs to hit more sets that people want.
Right.
And sometimes the laziness gets itself in there, and certainly Lego's a wonderful, amazing company.
Right. Absolutely.
But sometimes things get in there, and like you said, it happens even with Hasbro and other
Absolutely.
companies where they put out things and they're testing the market and they're flopping.
Right.
And they're flopping big sometimes.
Right. And I think that's, think about any set, like you said, even Hasbro, things like that. It's all about, absolutely, test the market. I always want something new and cool. I'm interested in new and cool. We don't want, just steady Eddie. We want new and innovative things. But time and tested ships, cool figures, cool play sets, they always sell. Why are you going and now putting all your money in these goofiness? It's the same thing like you said with Hasbro, not to go off on a tangent on them, but they are creating these cool 40th anniversary Black Series cards, and yet they stop. And they could have continued that on with the Last Jedi figures.
But as a collector, I'm kind of glad they stopped, right? And,
Right.
and I'm glad that Lego
Right.
limits the run
Absolutely.
of ships and things, and they don't continue. There's whole investment groups that are investing in Lego sets,
Right.
and they make money better than the stock market many times
Right.
on their Lego investments. So Lego obviously identifies quality.
Right.
And we certainly do appreciate them. We certainly enjoyed talking to
Right.
you about some of the things that we love about Lego. Why do you love Lego? Comment down below. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.